Hello, this is Swami Rama's translation and discussion of verse 3 of the 12 verses of Mandukya Upanishad, which is on Om Mantra, as he has written in the book he published, Enlightenment Without God. First is the translation of the sutra itself. The first aspect is the waking state, Vaishvanara. In this state, consciousness is turned to the external. With its 7 instruments and 19 channels, it experiences the gross phenomenal world. The discussion is consciousness in the waking state, Vaishvanara, experiences the objects of the external world. This is the state of consciousness that identifies itself with the physical and pranic sheaths. Its 7 instruments are the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, the breath, and the ego, which identifies itself with the body. Its 19 channels are the 5 active senses, speaking, grasping, walking, reproducing, and excreting, the 5 cognitive senses, hearing, touching, seeing, tasting, smelling, the 5 pranas, prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana, and the 4 antakaranas, or inner instruments, mind, ego, intellect, and chitta, the storehouse of memories. In modern psychology, the dreaming and sleeping states are thought to be unconscious states, but Vedanta psychology explains that they are not actually unconscious for the yogis who can attain conscious access to the dreaming and sleeping states. Waking is that state of mind in which one remains aware of one's activities in the external environment and of the objects of the world. The waking state is the state of subject-object consciousness. This mode of consciousness is dualistic. One experiences oneself as subject and everything else as object. In waking consciousness, the ego, one of the modifications of the mind, experiences itself as the subject who is conscious. Thus, it is brought into self-definition and stands out as the figure, while objects remain as the ground. The emergence of the ego as a small island upon which to stand is an important step in the evolution of self-consciousness. The ego enables one to be conscious of oneself, but the self that one is conscious of is extremely circumscribed. One experiences a boundary around oneself, a split from the objects one experiences. This leads to a sense of separation, or a feeling of alienation from others or from one's environment. In the waking state of consciousness, one processes experiences in a way that psychoanalysts have termed secondary process functioning. Here, the vast majority of information coming from the external environment and from one's memory is filtered by the ego. Thus, much information may be ignored because of the ego's narrow focus on its own particular identification and preoccupations. Waking consciousness is further restricted by the framework of time, space, and causation. In this mode of consciousness, only a portion of one's potential is available to conscious experience and use. It is important to note that the waking reality alone does not help to unfold the human consciousness. When the reality of the dreaming state is understood thoroughly, one realizes that the dreaming state is more subtle than the waking state. Today, psychologists are trying to analyze and understand the dreaming state from a therapeutic viewpoint. But when one explores the dreaming state through direct experience by using a conscious method of meditation, one can understand the reality of the dreaming state in a comprehensive way. The dreaming state can expand the aspirant's field of knowledge if he knows how to witness the dream. At the same time, he can watch all of the symbols, ideas, fancies, fantasies, impressions, memories, repressions, and suppressions coming from the storehouse of the unconscious mind. By understanding the dreaming reality, one can understand the waking reality also. If one has not seen, heard, imagined, thought of, or read something, he cannot dream of it. In the waking state, one cannot go beyond the sphere of knowledge gained during waking. So, analyzing the dreaming state means understanding the waking state also. But by understanding the waking state alone, one cannot understand the dreaming state. Verse 3 of the 12 verses of Mandukya Upanishad. Discussions of Swami Rama. Thank you for listening and visiting. And remember, it's all about Om, or said, it's all about Om. You know, Om is where it's happening, so to speak. Said differently, Om Tat Sat. Om, that alone is real. Om Tat Sat. Thank you for playing. Om Tat Sat. Bye-bye.